So, you're looking to play, huh? Alright, I guess I got some time to kill.
Wait, what?
This is the third time I tried making this video, by the way. Devil May Cry 4 is quite the game. At first was the game that ended Devil May Cry, Capcom having spent way more money than they wanted, and basically gave up on Devil May Cry and decided to give us DMC, and then said, oh fuck, go back! And brought us DMC 4 Special Edition, which I'm pretty sure everyone was happy about, adding Vergil, Lady, and Trish, with a few new game modes that are quite interesting to say the least. Not to mention, I consider the original game to be good, with its excellent story mode that characterizes Dante and Nero quite well, even though there's honestly a lack of content in the original. I love it, personally. It's crunkly and fun, and maybe a bit unfinished, and maybe I don't like the enemy roster, and maybe chimeras are the worst thing ever, but that's not what we're here for. You want to know how to get S ranks. I know how to get you S ranks. So lend me your eyes and ears, and let me show you how to style in Devil May Cry 4. Before we start, I'm not combo mad material. I cannot dedicate the time to learning all these crazy combos, even though I would really want to. So keep that in mind when you're watching this video. So let's start with system changes compared to Devil May Cry 3. There's a couple of things here that don't carry over from Devil May Cry 3, namely how lenient the game is. DMC 4 doesn't let you cancel every move in your arsenal with a jump or a dodge. Sometimes you're stuck in the animation and might need to take responsibility for your actions. Unless your name is Dante Sparta, I guess, because that motherfucker just tricks his way out of obligations, and we'll get to him later. Dante, it's your baby. You need to take care of him. Woo! Party not so crazy over here. You do have some options. The game gives you a lot of space to play around in, but it's not the cool uncle that Devil May Cry 3 is. It's more like the sweet but strict aunt. As for styling, you kind of know the deal by now, and not much has changed, but it's a bit more demanding than Devil May Cry 3. Obviously, you don't want to get hit, that's always a good tip. Use your dodge and your jump to get away from attacks, which both give style points now. Compared to Devil May Cry 3, only dodging out of the way gives you style points, when jumping is much better. Varying up your moves is also key. The game wants you to switch it up constantly and rewards you quite heavily for doing so, and if you keep doing the same move over and over, it just stops giving you style points in general. Air combos are also really good for styling, considering a lot of the enemies can't actually hit you while you're in the air, and you can do them for a while. Enemy stepping is really important as well for combos, and gives you a bit of style points, letting you get your double jump back and your air specials as well. So take that into consideration because it is very precious. I think that's mostly it. There's a lot more that you can do for stylish gameplay, but like I said, I'm not someone that's good at crazy combos, and there are people that make tutorials for that are way better than me. I was stuck trying to do guard flying for hours, man. To even do it once. To get S rankings on stages, you have to gather a lot of style points. The game doesn't care much for you getting hit as long as you don't die and restart from a checkpoint, although getting hit in the middle of a fight reduces the amount of style points that you are going to get. From my observation, style points are not that difficult to grasp. Basically, any attack that you do is going to give you style points, and those style points are going to be multiplied depending on what your style meter is at. So obviously, if you're at D, you're not going to get much multiplication, maybe none at all, but when you're at S or triple S, it might be an 8 times multiplication, which makes it so that you really don't want to get hit, because then you're not gathering as much style points. Though if you're at the end against a boss fight and you're sitting there with 9,000 style points in a 15-minute mission, yeah, of course, you're gonna be fine. You also have to finish the mission in a timely manner and get most of the red orbs on the stage. A, B ranks are fine since the orbs don't contribute that much to the overall ranking. Getting an SAA usually is enough for an S rank, but that depends on how many style points you have. I managed to get through my game with mostly S ranks for my missions. I fumbled hard on some missions though, namely that last one, because I fucking messed up the timing on the Buster. and died.
This nigga is trash.
With that out of the way, let's get character specific.
This baby sure can't pack a punch.
Nero, the dead I mean Nero. Bro, please relax. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Nero is the new character and the main character for Devil May Cry 4. And honestly, I didn't know how to feel about him first, but he's easily grown on me, especially gameplay wise. I mean, they gave Dante a command grab and you expect me not to enjoy it? Red Queen is his main weapon, which is the only sword he needs. This thing is amazing. It has natural air raid, a backstep stinger, a wider hitbox on normal stinger, and then you can rev it, allowing you to EX your moves like it's Street Fighter. And like the amount of combos this thing has is actually crazy. It's so fun to mess around with Red Queen. And if you're really good, if you're Alexander the Great, you can max act with a frame perfect rev to get it to level 3 EX instantly. It's so exciting to play around with this sword and everything you can do with it.
It also apparently yearns for Nero's touch, which is a line that has me puzzled every time I hear it. Just putting it out there for everyone else. I don't know why I'm the only one that fixates on this.
Blue Rose shoots 2 bullets at once and super fast. It has no gunslinger style moves, but allows you to charge shot, which is why I usually have it on the right trigger. Charge shot is a very important part of Nero's gameplay, which is why you want to have that button held down when you're doing combos, because a level 3 charge shot is all the damage that you need.
Charge shot is also very important at one particular point in the game for a very specific enemy that I wish goes back to hell where it came from. Fuck you, Chimera.
The show-stopping Buster Arm is the star of the show. A one-button command grab that does heavy damage on all the enemies and has different animations for almost every one of them. The Buster is so sick, not to mention that it can snatch enemies towards you, allowing for combos like this. Finally, Vergil left us with a little gift, which is Yamato, the key to Nero's Devil Trigger. Devil Trigger gives Nero a stand, which mirrors all of his attacks and enhances all of his grabs, giving him summon swords and allowing for combos he wouldn't have been able to hit if he didn't have it. It's a very cool Devil Trigger. What you want to do with Nero is high time enemies into the air and combo them while charging your gun, and allowing the burst damage from Blue Rose to finish them off, and using Buster to finish off anyone that isn't dead already. And for style points as well, because who doesn't want to see a Buster animation to end a fight? That shit is awesome. So, with everything I just told you about Nero, you should end up looking like this. Now, I feel that was fairly simple, right? Well, Capcom prefers to keep it complicated because we have to go through Dante. Dante went through the heaviest changes. Remember the style system from Devil May Cry 3? It's gone now because you have all 4 styles plus Darkslayer at all times and can switch to them at any time you want. So you're not listening. At any time you want. That means we can do this. He also has 3 swords at all times compared to his limited 2 from Devil May Cry 3 and 3 guns as well. This character is combo crack cocaine and I can't handle it. My fingies, they can't take it, man. So his styles are back, obviously. He's got Swordmaster, which didn't get much changes and is as strong as ever. Trickster, which is overpowered in this game. Gunslinger, which got some good buffs this time around. Royal Guard is amazing in this game, but I don't use it very often, considering the best defense in this game is a really good offense. And Darkslayer, which you get around the end of the game, allowing you to do combos with Yamato to a limited extent, but very useful. For swords, we have Rebellion, which returns in all of its glory. My beloved. Fists, we have Gilgamesh, which brings back with a kick 13, along with the returning Shoryuken and Shin Shoryuken, heavily useful in combos. And our new weirdo weapon, Lucifer. Places around swords and enemies which can be detonated for heavy damage. It can also act like Summon Sword with Swordmaster, and I suck at using it. Guns, we have Ebony and Ivory, more viable than ever. Coyote A, the sawed-off shotgun returns, as well with heavier damage than before. And Pandora, a briefcase that turns into different guns that can do multiple types of attacks, which is pretty fun to mess around with. With that out of the way, we can talk Devil Trigger. Devil Trigger is the same as usual, except for a few things. So, I guess it's different. First, it turns every gun into a charge shot, which allows it to juggle enemies that wouldn't be juggled otherwise. And it also gives you an extra air hike, so a triple jump, as well as a second air dash. And notably, it gives certain moves enhanced variations. For example, Stinger becomes a drilling rush that does massive damage, and Kick 13 gets a bunch more hits with heavier damage. Some pretty sick changes here. Dante is so damn deep that you can write an entire essay around him alone, and I know that people already did. I actually tried to learn some advanced combos with Dante, and all I can tell you is there's a lot of enemy stepping involved in this. Enemy step allows you a lot of maneuverability, basically using it to cancel animations into other moves. So Aerial Rave, jump cancel into Full House, into Bullet Rain. You can guard fly in this game, which serves some purpose, I suppose, but I'm not good at those specifics. I spent a lot of time learning combos for this video, and I have come to terms with the fact that I suck. I got one combo under my belt, and then I couldn't figure out advanced weapon switching, and couldn't really come up with my own combos, because it's just like, there's so many possibilities that here's the best combo I could do.
Is that anything? Is that cool to you, viewer? This game activates my brain goblins. It looks deep into my soul and tells me that I'm simply not perfect, and it hurts me. I just don't have the time to get good on this one, guys. Now, this is something I forgot to put in the script, so this might come out really fucking raw. I need to talk about Real Impact. So, Real Impact is the Shin Shoryuken, which does insane damage. Now, we can make it do even more damage if we do this one simple trick. When you hit the first hit of Real Impact, you activate Devil Trigger, and it multiplies the amount of hits and does insane damage. It can turn a 10-minute boss fight into a 30-second boss fight, just like here. The thing is that it's kind of difficult to give tips on Dante, because first of all, he's overpowered as fuck, and there's so much you can do that I feel like I'm not even qualified to give you any tips. But the main things are, is you gotta master the style switching, which already takes a long time because switching between styles in the middle of a fight or a combo is a nightmare for me. And then weapon switching has some advanced bullshit in there, which is also really difficult to do, but you also need to learn how to weapon switch in between combos and everything. And then jump canceling in your combos is very important as well. And figuring out how to incorporate all of your weapons into your combos is one hell of a challenge. Dante is the type of character you can sink tens of hours into and maybe not even be as good as some of the stuff that you see online. Me personally, I can't sink that much time into him, but I think he's really cool and super interesting as a character.
The only way I'm seen is subliminal. Meaning they only see it coming in the games, and I know what it's in the beginning. And even though it's just a game, I'm aware by any means necessary, man. And I go hard in the pocket, and big boy wants me a second that I clock in. I still aim and I lock in, and I hit the siren and then start rocking. I hit the siren now, tell the world let them know the siren now. So the time is right, tell the world you will know the siren now. Get it sounded out, you better move when you see that siren now.
I fucking suck at playing Dante, man.
Vergil returns from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Having dominated the entire roster, he makes his way back to Devil May Cry in all of his glory, broken beyond anything you've ever seen. Can you feel the storm? It's coming.
Vergil is absolutely broken, and I won't be going through him as much as I did Dante and Nero, but god, what an improvement. More moves, new mechanics, new taunts, and super easy to pick up and play. His motivation meter allows him to do Judgment Cut and buffs him a bunch of different ways, and his style, Darkslayer, is so overpowered because it cancels moves into other moves, which makes him like crazy easy to do combos with, although the community doesn't like it so much. But he's so crazy, like, and there's so many glitches with Vergil as well that I can barely do, and I don't have the time to cover. So I'll just leave it at that. Vergil is absolutely insane in this game. Like, they basically brought him from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and put him into DMC 4. Then we have Lady and Trish. Lady is if we grabbed Gunslinger and made it into a person and made it 10 times stronger. It's ridiculous the damage that she does, and she's obviously made for Legendary Dark Knight. Most, if not all, her gameplay is gun based and just explosions like it's a Michael Bay movie. Trish is insane. Her crowd control is out of this world. Her job is to just throw Sparta in round trip mode and do combos while she does so. Here's how that looks, and like, what even is happening on my screen right now? I suppose that will do it for Devil May Cry 4. This game kinda humbled me, I'm not gonna lie. Overall, the game is more punishing, but if you stick to switching up your moves, being able to dodge and not get hit, it's honestly not that difficult to get S's in this game. I know at this point that these videos aren't really tutorials or tips anymore, even though I kinda try to make them helpful in some way. But these videos kind of devolved into me yapping about these games, and hey, as long as you guys like it, I have no problem with that. I'm not exactly sure what comes next. I have a few ideas for videos, especially with the new PC now. It's going to be kind of interesting to have a big selection of games I can make videos on. But, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.